Hello, how you doing? Thanks for joining me here on the last Sketchy Live of the year. Just getting all hooked up onto YouTube so I can see my comments. Here we go. Live now. I was thinking maybe I need a thing which says Sketchy Live on here first, just when I'm starting up, so that the natural thumbnail looks like, you know, it explains what it is. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Here we go, just checking I'm live on Twitter as well. Cool. Awesome. I got a bit of a annoying dappled light here today. Hopefully that's not going to affect things too much. Anyway, I'll get straight into it. So, I only got partway through this sketch last time because I was having trouble kind of arranging the room, where things would be and where the center of the page is. Because in this page we've got Elijah saying, first we need crayons, paper, crayons and pens, and it's a lot easier getting started with friends. And so like it kind of naturally, like what Elijah's saying needs to go on the left hand side of a page and then moves over to Crumpet on the opposite side of the page. And in my initial sketch I had it all backwards so I was juggling it all around. So yeah, I could put my that light there is really annoying. I'll put the sun visor down. Hang on a minute. I'm actually using the sun visor. Anyway, so working on sketching out Elijah's face a bit here. And I've decided that Sketchy Lives on YouTube are going to be a thing going into 2020. I was concerned with the whole copper issue, and which relates to kids' content. But I managed to get my question answered on Dean Niman's podcast, Comments Over Coffee, where he said, am I making my videos for kids? And I'm not. And, you know, when you break it down as simply as that, is your intended audience of your videos for kids? Then my answer is no. My answer is other illustrators, other creators, parent creators who, you know, potentially might be interested in doing a similar thing to what I'm doing. And, you know, my main theme, the whole fork in the road thing, is I want to try and see if it's possible to become a full-time artist, to, you know, being an artist to be your job, you know, imagine that. So I'm giving it a go. By documenting over creating. But when you're an artist, you're creating anyway, so I don't know. Instead of gradually getting Elijah in there. Now I've got I got an idea for Elijah here. Yeah, I'm just trying to get his proportions alright. Shoulder pads. Not really shoulder pads. They're just kind of like the collar of a cape. So I'm hoping that Crumpet looks like he's closer here and Elijah's further away. Otherwise it looks like Elijah's very small. As you know, these things can always be fixed in post, but nice to kind of get it right first time if you can. Now, how is his cape flowing out like that, I hear you ask? Well, I've got an idea. So over here, you're going to have a fan going. You know, just kind of behind the scenes of the superhero. How does a superhero make their cape flap out like that when they're standing still? You get a fan going. So, blackboard. Kind of arrangement going on. And so it's the last day of the year where I am here. I've just had a mowing job. You know, people wanting to get their lawns mowed before they have their party tonight or whatever. So, one lawn mowed, having a break, having a coffee, having a Sketchy live before I go to my next one. You know, and if I could try and do Sketchy lives every day so that I get a minimum of an hour sketching a day, my colouring process takes a lot more time. I need to work on that. I have been working on that. Because I want to get lots of these books out. I want to get my books out as well. All a matter of streamlining and systematizing. But you know, you can streamline and systematize. Is all your time spent streamlining and systematizing just another form of procrastination? Who knows? Depends if you're really procrastinating or not. Okay. So, need to get now, I didn't want this page to look too much like a schoolroom. But you know, we've got one of these little blackboards at home for our girls, and they love it. So there's no reason why kids would have a blackboard like this and his desk like that. And you know, there's no reason why they wouldn't have set this scene up. It's funny I call it a scene, coming from being a filmmaker, as a educational type scene. Now, his hand is going to look like this. His hand is going to look like my hand. So I'm going to try and with a piece of chalk, know how far my head's coming into frame. I've got glasses on and I still need to get my eyes in really close to see what I am doing. I think I started to go blind ever since I started YouTube. Too much editing in the dark. Now, Elijah's super sweater. I don't know, in Australia we call them jumpers. Long sleeve. Something like that. Might have to work on that hand a bit. That hand looking a bit weird. But you know, you keep drawing, and eventually you get it right. That's what I love about the illustration process. If you give up too early, you can often think, oh, that doesn't look right, but then you keep working at it and you can make something wrong, something right. If that makes any sense whatsoever. Well, there might be someone watching. Apart from myself. Hi to whoever's there. Feel free to jump in on the chat. I'm just sketching a page of a picture book. Elijah and Crumpet picture book. You'll notice I'm calling it a picture book these days, because of the copper thing which is happening on January 1st. Like, I imagine no kids would want to have the patience to see someone draw very slowly like me. Okay. I should get sponsored by Nissan, perhaps. Sadly, it's not a Tesla. What is it with YouTubers and Teslas? I don't know. And down here. Got to be holding a duster. Getting there. Time for a sip of coffee, I think. Okay, now, while I'm doing this, I have my Instagram page up as well. That way I can see, look back and reference some of my previous images when I'm kind of questioning myself, like how many stripes did I put on his sleeve, for instance. And for instance here, hey Frank, how you doing? Happy, well for me here it's New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve in the middle of the day. And you're here! So good to see you, man. Yeah, so New Year's Eve, middle of the day. And so I'm doing some drawing, having a coffee now. And got myself a takeaway coffee. I'm going to have to stop doing that. I think I'm some kind of extravagant artist drinking coffee from a coffee shop. I need to bring my own in a thermos or something. Get out the thermos. And yeah. And then I'm going off to one more lawn mowing job. And then it's the end of the day. It'll be the new year next. Tomorrow will be time for you for New Year's Eve. 7 p.m. here in Chicago. Yeah, cool. Now you are doing I think I've seen when you schedule one of your lives, I actually click on the thing which says send me a reminder. And if I'm awake, I normally jump on. It's kind of pretty much dependent on whether I'm awake or not, because yours tend to be at night time. But just so you know, yeah, I do click that little send reminder thing. So are you doing one for New Year's Eve, Frank? Because you seem to still be doing 1 or 2 a week or so, something like that. And so, just so you know, I know you've been, I've been talking about copper, and you've been talking about copper and all this kind of stuff, and yes, but you are doing a live, but so I've decided that I'm going to continue on with my Sketchy lives. on YouTube into the new year. We'll run it later at 1 p.m. Okay, cool. So what I've done in terms of copper, getting my channel January 1st ready, is I've marked my whole channel as not for kids, and then I've gone through and done a channel search for where I've mentioned kids or children, and then I've gone through and edited the titles on those videos. So instead of saying kids book or children's book, I'm saying picture book, and I've taken out any tags which sound kind of kids related, because as Nick Nimmin said, this channel isn't, my intention isn't for kids. My intention is for other creators, to get together with other creators, share ideas about how to get your work out there and stuff. And you know, a kid would be extremely bored watching me do this, I imagine. So anyway, that's my decision. I'm gonna try to do my Sketchy lives most days, and on one day a week I'm going to do like a bit of a community chat thing, like a chat with you guys, about topics of the week or something, I don't know. Maybe even put it in the podcast. It'll be good to try and find a way to get that to the podcast. And also I want to do a tutorial a week, just a tutorial on something that I'm doing, like, you know, the way I make thumbnails, or the way I make videos, or the way I do my podcasting. You know, I'm not going out searching for stuff to do. I'm just gonna show the way I do stuff. So the Sketchy lives will remain. Now I've just popped over to my Instagram page, so if you make a comment I won't be able to see it for a bit, because I'm just trying to reference my logo here, make sure I keep it consistent. So I've just got an image on my from my Instagram page. Just to get that general shape of the logo. It's kind of right, needs a little bit of tweaking over here. Cool, and I'm back on the YouTube chat. Yeah, so Frank, the reason why I'm going to stream on later is because at midnight New Year's Eve Chicago I'll be filming fireworks. Cool. I will edit and post video shortly after, meaning I can't wake up with only a few hours of sleep. I'll sleep then start streaming in the afternoon. I hope that makes sense. That sounds really cool. Sounds like a very cool project if you don't have to sleep much. Yeah, over here there's usually a really big fireworks display in Sydney on the Sydney Harbour Bridge. But this year, you know, there's a petition out to cancel it, because for about the last month, it seems, Sydney's been engulfed by bushfire smoke. You know, being extremely unhealthy. Apparently, like, you know, walking outside is the equivalent of having a packet of cigarettes a day or something, they were saying. And then they're talking about doing fireworks amongst all that, so it does seem a bit weird. I mean, it seems weird not to do it, but it also seems weird to do it. Now, I know I'm having a bit of trouble focusing here. I got my wrong glasses on. I am having a senior moment. My birthday's coming up, speaking of senior moments. My birthday's coming up January... Oh, God, that's better. My birthday's coming up January 7th. And you know what? I don't know that I really want to do anything. I just want to have a... You know, as you get older, you just want to... a day of not mowing lawns. Full day of sketching. Thank you, sir. Not my birthday yet. I don't want to count my birthday too soon, because when you get to my age, you know, you hold on. I'm holding on for 45 as long as I can. But you know, as Gary Vee says, I feel young as fuck. And I thought I'd put the F word in there just to make sure that I get the right rating on this. I know you're allowed to. I don't know. I might get pinged. There's swearing on that. You know, I'm not going to make it. I feel bad for swearing now. 47, yeah. And do you feel yeah. And do you still feel young? I mean, I feel the same way I felt when I was in my 30s or whatever. I was just... Home droning, how you going? Home droning. Hello fellas, just showing some support. Nice drawing. I'm also a lefty. You guys have a great evening. Got to get back. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. Yeah, thank you very much, home droning. You know, it's funny, I'm not a lefty. I had this last time. I forgot to change my camera around again. It's because it's on the front-facing camera, so I can actually see what I'm doing when my camera's in the sun visor. Yeah, it's a mindset, totally. As long as you take care of yourself, you should be fine. Yeah, and you know, when I was younger, well, pretty much up until I started having kids, I used to drink. I wasn't an alcoholic. Like, I wouldn't just drink. But if I went out to a party, I would party to get drunk every single time. Ever since I was, you know, probably 15. and I haven't had a single drink for well, coming up to about 4 years now. I don't even want to drink. Isn't that weird? I want to drink coffee. Here, I got my coffee here. Oh, that's great. Thank you very much, home droning. Now, some jeans. My computer keeps telling me my hard drive's full. That's not good. I need to clear some stuff off my hard drive. But you know what, I tell you, Frank, I thought by the age of 45 I'd have things together. I thought I'd know what I was doing. I thought I would, you know, I have life sorted out. And then I think it's a bit boring having life sorted out. Like, have a great evening. Yes, thank you. You too, home drone. So you realise when I'm really concentrating when things go quiet. Let me see if bottle caps will come. I have no idea what that means, Frank. Unless you're speaking to home droning. It sounds like secret code to me. Let me see if bottle caps will come. Aha! The algorithm won't pick that one up. Oh, your Canadian friend, cool. He should be here short. Nice. So bottle caps isn't code for something that would normally get shut down. Sorry I haven't been on as many lives and stuff. I see you've been doing lives and that, but we've had a crazy week or so. We've been evacuated once for bushfire. We've had to we've been on high alert for, you know, about a week. Bottle Caps is on my stream in the morning. Yeah, cool. Bottle Caps, welcome, Bottle Caps. I'm here, I'm just drawing a page of a kids picture book for YouTubers Elijah and Crumpet. Now, I'll call it a picture book over the other things that you could call a book for young people. Due to some regulatory things coming in January 1. I don't know if I have to go as far as to say I'm going to call my book a picture book from now on. Bottle Caps, what do you do on your channel? Something related with bottle caps? Or am I wrong? Yeah, just getting Elijah's face right. Always a tricky thing doing human faces. I'm trying to make human faces look consistent. Yeah, collect bottle caps. Yeah, cool. And since you've been on YouTube, do you get like people sending you bottle caps from all over the world? I imagine they'd have pretty good access to people that follow you and that be able to send you bottle caps. And are we talking all kinds of bottle caps? No, you don't. Ah, don't collect bottle caps. You're just going to let me see how long I'd roll with that one. Okay, so now the text on this page. Now be nice in the chat there, be nice. No swearing or rude fruit. There's awesome drone footage from his island. You're on an island. Bottle caps, you have an island. Is it your own? Your own private island? Don't forget about the moon on the deer and the eagles. So on this page it's going, first you need paper, crayons and pens. Oh, he does have his own island. Nice. Well, if you need any mowing done, let me know. Because I do mowing work as well. But, you know, mowing lawn, surprisingly, isn't my passion. Now, can I twist around and write crayon on this? Yes, it's your island. Cool. And whereabouts is this island located? I hope it's not subject to rising sea levels. This is a tricky twist here. Well, how did I make the word crayons fit? Except it should just say crayon, not crayons. So I've actually got extra room. He resides on it, but he might as well own it. I see. Like that. I live on an island too. Someday you'll have waterfront. Yeah, you see, that's good to see some positive thinking. Get a seafront. Get a place back from the seafront a bit, so when the levels come up, you can fish out your window. If fishing is your thing. So, paper, crayons, and pens. Now, So whereabouts is this island, bottle caps? In the water, mysteriously. I have this vision of your island. I imagine it's like just an island that's a volcano, and you somehow enter via a creek or something and go under a waterfall, and then that's your house is through a waterfall and you live in the side of the volcano. Is that the kind of thing we're talking about? I heat my house with wood, get those carbons back up there in the atmosphere where they belong. What island am I on? What island are you on? I'm on Australia Island. It's the island that's on fire. One with all the smoke coming off it, that's our island. West coast of Canada, British Columbia, South Coast. Sounds cool. Probably very cool now, isn't it? You guys get snow and stuff. For Christmas, we just get bushfires. Okay, so we've got Crumpet here, Elijah here. Now, we'll get some. You got to have line paper. You need some lines on your paper. Otherwise, what's that? What's that rectangle? Now, here's drone footage of dolphins and seagulls chasing a ferry. Great stuff. As a continent. Okay, yeah, true. I suppose. Yeah. Technicalities. 'Too modest, yeah. Yeah. Drones. I'd love it to get a drone one day. I don't know what I'd do. Have it just hovering over me while I'm drawing or something. If you got one of those really little drones, I really like the idea of those really small drones that are supposedly can fit in your pocket. But they might get blown around a bit. Now this fan, try and get it so it's not smashing into the blackboard. Ferry broke down today, but they got it working again. Our new ferry is sitting off the coast of Mexico, coming up the coast. So does that mean you're stuck on your island? What do they have? What would be the population of your island, bottle caps? $2,000, yeah. Very cool. Now, I'm going to try and get this fan worked out. So, Frank, how's your TikTok going? I've been looking more into TikTok. I have no idea how I could make anything for TikTok. But, but surprisingly, like, I don't know what videos you guys see on TikTok, but there seems to be a hell of a lot of incredibly talented people out there. Unless I'm just looking at the really good ones. And like specific content made for TikTok. Because I'm looking at a lot of illustration challenges and draw in your style and that kind of thing. And there's a lot of production gone into some of those. Going good, just need more content, yeah. Yeah, but there is it is good for artists. There seems to be a good community of illustrators and that. I've just been trying to work out how the drawing challenges work and stuff like that. There seems to be a reasonable amount you need to know if you want to kind of have content which kind of collaborates with other people and stuff like that. Yeah, we're all young here, bottle caps. Okay, but I should have it spinning. I might have to make this spinning in post, you see, because his cape has to go out somehow. See, this is what I've got a problem with. I always need to illustrate from left to right, because I end up smudging. One of his friends singing on TikTok. Yeah, and I've noticed there's a lot of songs which, I don't know, there was one song, wish I could remember what it was called now, where there's a specific dance for a specific part of the song, and there's just hundreds of them. I imagine if you wrote that song, you'd be pretty blown away that all these people are making content basically based around your song. I don't know, you might be pissed off by it. Might be annoying. Now we need some eyebrows here. singing or dancing. I mean, you know, there's a lot of illustrators just doing time-lapse illustration stuff, but there's usually a fair amount of quite good production involved, I think, anyway. From what I can tell, if I was going to get involved, it'd take up too much time that I don't have to actually like do edits, which I was, you know, that could compete on that kind of level. Can you call yourself bottle? I'm sure bottle caps would go really well on. I can imagine bottle caps being viral on TikTok. There's one guy I found on TikTok. I don't know what kind of humor you have, sense of humor you have, but is a comedian. He does a lot of impersonations and stuff, and his name is Jin, Jinn Kid. Jin Kid. He's also got Facebook and you know, Instagram and all that kind of stuff as well. And there's one really cool thing that he does, which is like I don't know anything about games or gaming culture or whatever, but he does this thing where he acts like the computer characters in the game Skyrim, and it's just hilarious, you know, like the way characters walk and talk and walk into walls and kind of half walk through doors and get stuck and things like this. Alright, so I've got him linked on my Twitter page, but he does an impersonation of Gary Vee as well. I did a shout out to Gary Vee. I'd love to see him in on the Gary Vee show, because he's doing pretty good on TikTok. Now, in this wall here behind him, you saw that, Frank? Yeah, no, I love it too. It just cracked me up. I think I've seen it heaps of times now, just crying. It's so funny. Just like when I see your live streams, Frank, I am often crying watching your live streams, because they're usually so funny. Not because they're just funny. Everyone has a good laugh on your streams. So what's happening here? I'm going to have so this wall back here, we're going to have text up here, and going to have a window here. Now I've already got the window elsewhere, and I can cut and paste that in there with the landscape that I've done elsewhere as well, and cut and paste that landscape in there. Now I don't yet. Oh, now I've got to draw stuff on his table too, don't I? Yes. I need paper, crayons, and pens. Paper. Crayons. Now, I'm going to have to do it differently. It looks like Crumpet's got an extremely large finger. Yeah, I love the party you have in the morning. It's silly, funny, and all good people there. It makes it so worthwhile. Yeah, it is so cool. Really enjoy your lives. Eyes, bottle caps. kind of got a crayon going here, I think. And the pen. And a clean desk too. First you need paper, crayons and pens. And a clean desk. You need a clean workspace. You don't need to be drawing in a car like I am. If I can find a place to do my rattle can work, I may go back to it for 2020. If I can find a place to do my rattle can work. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Frank. Yeah, I like it when you're going through your photography, Frank. That's really cool. Just talking about your work. That's kind of what I'm thinking about for. I'm going to do one a week, where I just go through the finished illustrations I've done and what I've been working on, and just chat with people. Just chat. It was good fun just chatting. Spray paint art on glass. Yeah, cool. That sounds interesting. Alright, so got that. Oh man. Elijah's got pencil smudges all over his face. So when I bring this in to do the illustration, I is take a photo of it, do some brightness, contrast issues, stuff like that, make it so I get rid of any of the dull kind of smudgy stuff before I then illustrate over it in Adobe Draw. And yeah, so window behind here, wardrobe. I'm going to finish these cars and stuff. We've got a big Hawaiian punch storm hitting us right now. So it's amazing. You could make some big money out of it. Is that the spray paint on glass? I'm interested in how you can make money out of art. I saw a video about a guy, you know, it's one of those things that, one of those videos, I became a full-time artist, and he's got an Etsy store, and he sells pins, like badges and stuff. I mean, he sells his artwork as well, but his big seller is his pins and that. And he sells a lot of them. But there's a thing like I'm kind of interested about where artists do stuff where they'll because what he does is he'll take like famous animation characters and stuff like that and zombify them, you know. And I'd just personally be worried I was going to get a letter in the mail from, you know, The Simpsons or Disney or something like that going, you kind of, profiting off our intellectual property. And you know, a lot of artists do that. They'll do stuff which, you know, there's so many people who do drawings of Star Wars stuff, and like here's my lightsaber here, but it's a toy lightsaber. I don't know if I have to, you know, intellectual property on that, I don't know, but it's an interesting grey area. A question indeed for the internet, the social media lawyer Ian Corzone. He's very helpful with things of that nature. You know, how much do you have to change something to make it yours? I think I'm getting pretty close now. I'm on an hour. I've done an hour. It's slow going, but this one was kind of yeah, took a bit of working out in my head. I've got a whole lot more erasing to do when I shut the camera off. Thank you so much everyone for joining me. Frank, Bottle Caps, great to meet you, Bottle Caps, even if it is only in the chat. Great to hear from you. Yeah, everyone have an awesome New Year's. Here's a link from 2009. Yeah, cool. Another Bottle Caps video. Yeah, because our New Year's Eve is tonight. Yours will be tomorrow. 2020 is going to be awesome. I can just feel it. And we'll get this book out and get it happening. Glad to be here. Have an amazing New Year. You too. Thank you so much. Ciao, everyone. I've got to find the end button. Here it is.